Good Monday morning, everybody. This is Dr. Dan, your co-host. I am here with leadership expert, attorney Jen Garrett, on another version of Momentum Monday. Jen, how are you today?
Good morning. I'm in another venue sitting in a car this morning, but ready to be on the move and get some momentum going on this lovely December morning.
Yes, it is a great morning. So how are you? How was your weekend?
It was good. It was nice and relaxing football. We won't talk about. My team is continuing to not do well, but we'll leave it at that. But no, it was a good weekend.
I didn't watch my team, so I was busy with hockey and other things. So my son and I were working out, and I had some things to do around the house. So I missed football yesterday. Usually, this is a great time of year to watch some football. It's a little cold here in the Northeast. You turn on the game. You got a little music in the background. You're putting up decorations. It's all good. But everybody, Attorney Jen is author of Move the Ball, bestseller. And we're going to get you motivated for this week. We're almost done with this year, Jen. And a lot of people are starting to think about putting together New Year's resolutions. I don't know if I like the word New Year's resolutions. How about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, people tend to use New Year's as a reset point and say, okay, what am I going to do different this year? The problem with the term New Year's resolution is oftentimes people don't keep those resolutions. So they'll have them for a few weeks, maybe a month, and then they just go back into their old habits and those resolutions have gone by the wayside. And so go ahead.
I think that's important to say because I know that in my office, there's an uptick. Everybody wants to be healthy. Everybody wants to lose weight. And then they realize that, life starts happening again. And then they just kind of go back to their own ways. So my first question today is, when you're moving the ball for 2021, how do you set your goals and how do you stick to your goals?
Yeah, so I mean, setting the goals, I think, isn't the problem. It's the sticking to the goals, right? Because people have an idea of, okay, I want to lose 20 pounds or I want to stop smoking this year. I want to eat healthier. So it's really about setting the goal that's specific as well so you can measure it, right? But then it's about understanding what are the habits that I need to do consistently to be able to achieve that goal. And that's where people fail, is shifting the habits. And so I think it's important is to write down your goals. So it's not just a matter of putting it in your head, because then other things will pop in your head and you'll forget about it. So write it down and put it somewhere that's visible for you. Put it on the refrigerator, put it in your calendar, whatever your thing is. It needs to be in a spot that's visible so you have that reminder. Then you need to think about, okay, what are the habits that I need to do? So let's just talk about losing weight, right? So you're going to exercise more, right? Maybe you're going to change your diet to be able to do that. Whatever those habits are, you need to write down those habits as well. Every day, I want you to write down those habits and then tell yourself why. Why is this important?
That's great.
This is important because I want to lose 20 pounds, but this is important because why is losing the 20 pounds important, right? Not just that outcome, but you're doing that for a reason. Is it because you want to improve your health so you can have more energy and have more time that you spend with your family? Whatever that is, remember that why. And when you think about the habits and connect it to your why and write down those habits every day, write down why are you doing it, then the reality is you're more likely to do it. And so you do this every day until it is a consistent habit and you no longer need to write it down. So there's no magic formula, write it down for 30 days. No, write it down until you've got it.
Until you have it. Right.
Exactly.
And I understand exactly what you're meaning is that, for me, I want to remain healthy because I'm in my late 50s and I have a 12-year-old and he's very active and we could be anywhere. Well, not now because of some restrictions, but we could be anywhere in the United States or the world in a cold hockey rink. And I want to be able to enjoy that with him. And I want to be able to have that father-son experience. So that's a very strong motivating factor. Plus, as a clinical nutritionist, I want to be able to show individuals that no matter at what age, you can do it and you can be healthy. So those are two
Yeah.
strong whys. And I love writing down those whys every day until you get it, because there's so many different types of things that can happen. Life, you start going back, you see that cheesecake, you see the apple pie, I'm smiling, right? It's the holidays. So writing them down, and you don't have to wait until January 1st to do this, correct?
Right. No, no. I mean, people use January 1st is that reset point, but that can be today, any day, right? It's just the day that you say, okay, this is day one, and I'm going to make these changes so that I can achieve the goals that I'm looking for. But you've got to get those habits in and continually do them. So if you write them down
Right.
and the why, which is important, when you stay connected to that why, you're more likely to do it even when life kicks in and you get distracted or stressed out by other things. When you're still thinking about that why, you're going to come back and do those habits.
I agree. And really get Jen's book, because it's going to help you. I mean, just opening up the book to the first, to the first chapter, pregame show, difference between ordinary and extraordinary. Jimmy Johnson said this. I'm not a fan, but he's a great coach. Is that little extra that you need to do. So if you're writing down your goals and then you're putting down the whys, make sure you do that. That's the little extra that you need in order to get your goals with you. And then the next chapter, are you with me? Okay, are you with me? Are you going to be with me? Can you help me out? Can I help you out with your goals, right? You want to be able to help each other out. And then the last chapter we did is get rid of the dead weight. And there's no pun intended in losing 20 pounds with that, right, Jen? But if somebody's working against you, maybe they're not for you for this particular goal, right?
Correct. Yes.
So
yeah, and
I
like we
that.
talked about before with getting rid of the dead weight, that doesn't necessarily mean you need to remove them, right? But
That's what we were saying, right?
For a particular goal, just continuing with our losing 20 pounds theme, if you have a really good buddy that doesn't have a healthy lifestyle and they like to eat that apple pie and cheesecake, maybe that's not the person that you tell about, unless you're trying to encourage them to lose weight. But my point is that you want to qualify who are you surrounding yourself with and sharing these goals. You want to share them with people that are going to motivate you, that are going to continue to keep pushing you. That social accountability piece is important.
Right, 100%. And leads us into the next chapter in the book. What does it mean to win? What does it mean to win? Your quote here, set your goals high and don't stop till you get there, by Bo Jackson. I love Bo back in the day, right?
Yes.
Who didn't love Bo? Baseball, football. He was that superstar all around athlete. You're smiling by that, right?
Yeah. So I remember the commercials.
Oh, those were the best commercials, weren't they?
Yeah.
We're definitely aging ourselves here. We're saying, okay, anyway. Anyway, so what does it mean to win? Tell me, what does it mean to win, Jen?
Yeah, so we talked a little bit about setting goals for New Year's. I mean, what it means to win is defining what are your goals. In the football context or the sports context, the overarching goal is pretty easy, right? It's to win games, right? Win a championship. There are other goals that teams have, maybe in football to, have a better performing offensive line, right? Or other things like that. So for us, there's no clear cut, I want to win a game. Well, what is that game for you? What are your goals? It's important to have those identified. And a lot of people use New Year's as a point where they do that. But again, you don't need to wait into New Year's to have those goals. And I believe that everybody should be setting 30-day goals as well. So that way you have something that you're working towards every month. That 30-day goal can be part of a larger goal and should be, right? But you should have those 30-day goals that you've got this focused effort for that period, so that you can see progress towards smaller goals that lead you to achieving those bigger goals.
I know when I set a goal, and if I have those micro goals, I have to make 3 phone calls today for this goal. I have to go see this person for the other goal. And I have them all on my Google Calendar. I have them written down. I'm like too organized when it comes to this. But when you start crossing them off and you reach that goal, it feels good. and it gives you more
Yes.
confidence to go on to perhaps a larger, other bigger goal that you want in your life. Correct?
Yes, absolutely. And the thing about goals too is I'm sure many people watching have heard the acronym SMART before. You want to have goals that have specificity around them. So that way you can measure, right? So you want them to be
Right.
specific, you want them to be measurable, you want them to be actionable, you want them to be relevant, and you want them to be time bound. Now, some people use SMART as the A is achievable and the R is realistic, but I like the words actionable and relevant. And the
I like
reason
it.
for that is you want to set goals that where you can take action. And where this is more important is in a work environment, because a lot of times people will be assigned team goals, right, through their organization, but they really
Hmm.
don't have any control over those. So those aren't valid goals. So when I work with organizations, I really focus on you need to make sure that the goals that you're flowing down to teams and to individuals on those teams are things that they can specifically take action towards to help achieve. In an individual context, it's pretty easy because the goals we're setting are probably things that we can do, right? That we can take action on.
Right.
But I think it's important to remember that any goal that you set individual or for a team, there should be a component that you can take action specifically towards it. And then the R being realistic for some people, I like relevant because you
Right.
can have realistic goals, but if they're not aligning with what's important to you, then it doesn't
Right.
matter if they're realistic or not because they're not relevant to what's important to what you want to achieve.
Right. I like the SMART acronym a lot, and I use it when I set my goals. And actionable is really important because you're never supposed to leave the scene of a goal without taking at least one action to get it going. Because you can be, you can have that paralysis by setting all of these goals. You're so exhausted, and you have so many goals that you can't even take a particular action towards a goal. So it could be anything that you want. At
Right.
least if you take an action, you're going to be more bound to take another action. And I like the time
Yes.
bound also because you want to have a date, even if you, whether you hit it or not, you don't want to say, I want to lose 20 pounds and you're 60 years old and you're 75 and you lost 18.
Right.
Right. So you want to sit there and say, I want to lose 20 pounds and I want 3 months to do that, which would be healthy weight loss. So I like the time aspect of it about this. So I think that's extremely important. So on our next one, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to get you ready because I'm going to ask myself the same question. What goal did you set in 2020 that you used the SMART acronym for? And what were your challenges? Did you have to pivot? Did you reach it? So get ready for that, Jen.
Okay.
I didn't want to just dive on that today, but we're going to, and then I'm going to give my goal that I had that I used the SMART, the SMART acronym also. So we're gonna have a contest
Okay.
doing that.
Okay.
I like it. And you also ask in your book when you're talking about what does it mean to win, you have the coach's playbook here on page 39. I like this also. Who am I? Where do I want to go? And how am I going to get there? So why is that important when you want to win?
Yeah, so the who am I is important because you want to set goals that align with your core values, with things that
Mm-hmm.
are important to you, your passions, that kind of thing. So I think it's important to gain clarity around what's important to you and then set goals that are in alignment with that. And then the playbook is important because once you set the goals, then it's all about execution, right? You can want to
Mm-hmm.
win the game, but how
Right.
you are going to do it is going to be important and your ability to execute on those plays. And there are going to be plays that don't work that you try and you don't achieve the outcome that you
Mm-hmm.
wanted, but then you pivot or then you make an adjustment and then you continue on. But you
Right.
need to have that set of strategies to figure out, okay, these are the things, these are the strategies, these are the actions that I'm going to take to be able to achieve the goals that I'm setting for myself.
I like this because you also have here, and you want to define your vision, and you talked about values. You set a goal, you want to make sure that they're aligned with your values. So, what are your top five values, right? What is it that is important to you? What's important in your life? What do you enjoy? What is your passion? And what excites and energizes you? Because you want to set a goal that's exciting to you, right? You don't want to,
Right.
I look at my son. It's like, one kid on his hockey team has this goal, then it becomes everybody else's goal, and it may not be the best goal for them. So what excites you, which I think is extremely important in addition to.
Right. Yeah, I'll share. I've been doing a lot of working with people on their resumes and interview coaching and branding on LinkedIn during this pandemic, just because there's a lot of people that are in need of that. And I had a woman that I'm working with currently. She had sent me over some jobs that she would be interested in applying for. And when I looked at them, I was like, I think you're aiming too low from a pay scale standpoint. I'm like, I definitely think that based on your background, we can position you for some other roles. And so I was telling her my thoughts, and her response was, okay, well, I'm going to defer to your judgment. And I was like, well, no. I mean, I'm telling you what I think, but you at the end of the day have to tell me if those are the type of roles that you would be interested in, right? I don't want you to just sign up for or look for jobs that, yeah, they may be paying a little bit more than what you were looking at, but you're not happy with them. So you absolutely have to set goals that are going to be aligned with you and your values and your interests.
I totally agree. Now, Jen, we're almost up on our time. What's one other little clinical pearl or tidbit that you can discuss when it comes to what it means to win and reaching a goal?
Yeah, I would say that it's important to have the goal. It's important to have a time associated with it, right? Because the likelihood of you achieving it is greater if you set a time, even if you have to push that time out. But then it's also about, we talked about putting the right habits into place, but it's this continuous mindset of self-improvement and looking. You see the motivational posts of people saying, don't compare yourself to others, right? Focus on your improvement. And if you can get just 1% better every day, then you're going to see the results that you want. And so I think it's important for people to do some reflection during this time too, as you're working on your goals, as you're implementing these new habits. You have to come back at the end of the day and say, okay, where did I land today? Right? How can I do better tomorrow? And if for some reason you didn't, let's go back to that 20-pound example. If for some reason you didn't get the exercise in that you had planned on for the day because something happened, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it, but hold yourself accountable. Say, you know what? I didn't do this today. I'm going to make sure that I do it tomorrow. And maybe I'm going to do a little extra tomorrow to make up for it. So we're all human, things happen. So it's okay to slip here and there and have a reason why you didn't do it. But you have to, again, that accountability piece is important. So reflect on the day, look at where you landed, and then figure out, okay, how do I need to adjust so that I can make sure that I'm staying on track for tomorrow.
Excellent. So next time we meet, we're going to be talking about the acronym SMART goals. What was one of yours? What was one of mine? What did we have to do to reach it? And I think that would be another great mini cast. So Jen, as always, been great talking with you. I look forward to our Momentum Mondays to get everybody pumped up, ready to go. This is Jen's book, Move the Ball. Please go out and get it. Holidays are coming up, makes a great gift. Jen, thank you very much for being on today.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed our conversation. Look forward to our next Momentum Monday.
Look forward to the next Momentum Monday. Thank you very much for everybody that's out there that's listened today. Get the ball, move the ball, and have a great week. Until next time, move the ball. Thank you, Jen.
Thanks, everyone.